Heavy metals are generally defined as metals with relatively high density atomic weights or atomic number. The earliest known metals, iron, copper, tin, and precious metals, silver, gold, and platinum, are heavy metals. Later on, light metals, magnesium, aluminum, and titanium were discovered, as well as non heavy metals including gallium, thallium, and hafnium. Heavy metals are usually present in trace amounts in natural water, but many of them are toxic even at low concentration. Metals such as arsenic, lead, cadmium, nickel, mercury, chromium, cobalt, zinc, selenium are highly toxic even in minor quantities. Increasing quantity of heavy metals in our resources is an area of great concern, especially since large number of industries are discharging their metal containing effluents into the fresh water. Some relatively harmless such as ruthenium, silver and indium, but can be toxic even in larger amounts. Heavy metals become toxic when they are not metabolized by the body and accumulate into the soft tissue. Heavy metals become toxic when they enter into the food chain. They may enter the human body through food, water, air, absorption through skin when they come in contact with humans in agriculture, manufacturing, pharmaceutical, industrial, or residential settings. Industrial exposure accounts for a common route of exposure for adults. Ingestion is the most common route of exposure in children. Natural and human activities are contaminating the environment and its resources. They are discharging more than what environment can handle. Many studies have documented different natural sources of heavy metal. Heavy metal can emanate from both natural and anthropogenic processes and ends up in different environmental compartments such as soil, water, air, and their interface. Under different certain environmental conditions, natural emissions of heavy metal occur. Such emissions include volcanic eruptions, sea salt sprays, forest fires, rock weathering, biogenic sources, and wind-borne soil particles. Natural weathering processes can lead to the release of metals from their spheres to different environmental compartments. Heavy metals can be found in the form of hydroxides, oxides, sulfides, sulfates, phosphates, silicates, and organic compounds. The most common heavy metals are lead, nickel, chromium, cadmium, arsenic, mercury, zinc, copper. Also, these mentioned heavy metals can be found in traces, but they still cause serious health problems to humans and other mammals. Anthropogenic sources, industries, agriculture, wastewater, mining, metallurgical processes, and runoff also lead to the release of pollutants to different environmental compartments. Anthropogenic processes of heavy metals have been noted to go beyond the natural fluxes for some metals. Metals naturally emitted in wind-blown dust are mostly from industrial areas. Some important anthropogenic sources which significantly contribute to the heavy metal contamination in the environment include automobile exhaust, which releases lead, smelting, which releases arsenic, copper and zinc, insecticide, which releases arsenic, and burning of fossil fuels, which release nickel, vanadium, mercury, and selenium and tin. Human activities have been found to contribute more to the environmental pollution due to everyday manufacturing of goods to meet the demands of large pollution. Sources of heavy metals and their recycling into soil, water, air, organism ecosystem. Ecosystem has physical, chemical and biological components along with the energy sources and pathway of energy and material interchange. Ecology basically relationship between the living organisms with their physical environment and with each other. Heavy metals accumulate into the soil, and transfer of heavy metals from soil to plants, and these heavy metals when in greater amount cause the toxicity problems in birds, fish, domestic animals and humans. Effect of heavy metals on soil. Emission from activities and sources such as industrial activities, mine tailing, disposal of high metal waste, leaded gasoline, paints, application of fertilizers, animal manure, sewage sludge, pesticides, wastewater irrigation, coal combustion residues, and spillage of petrochemicals lead to soil contamination by heavy metals. Soil have been noted to be major sinks for heavy metals released into the environment by aforementioned anthropogenic activities. Most heavy metals don't undergo microbial or chemical degradation because they are non-biodegradable, and their total concentration lasts for a long time after being released to the environment. The presence of heavy metals in soil is a serious issue due to its residence in food chain, thus destroying the entire ecosystem. As much as organic pollutants can be biodegradable, their biodegradation rate is decreased by the presence of heavy metals in the environment, and in turn doubles the environmental pollution. That is organic pollutants and heavy metal dust present. There are various ways through which heavy metals present risks to human, animals, plants and ecosystem as a whole. Such ways include direct ingestion, absorption by plants, food chains, consumption of contaminated water, and alteration of soil pH, porosity, color and its natural chemistry, which impact on soil quality. Effect of heavy metals on water. Although there are many sources of water contamination, industrialization and urbanization are two major culprits of the increased level of heavy metal water contamination. Heavy metals are transported by runoff from industries, municipalities, urban areas. Most of these metals end up accumulating in soil and sediments of water bodies. Heavy metals can be found in traces in water sources and still be very toxic and impose serious health problems to humans and other ecosystems. This is because the toxicity level of a metal depends on factors such as organism which is exposed to heavy metal, its nature, its biological role, and the period at which organisms are exposed to the metal. Food chains and food webs. Food webs, basically interlinked food chains, symbolize the relationships among organisms. Therefore, the contamination of water by heavy metals actually affects all organisms. Humans, an example of organisms feeding at highest level, are more prone to serious health problems because the concentration of heavy metals increase in food chain. Effect of heavy metals on air. Industrialization and urbanization due to rapid bird population growth have recently made air pollution as a major environmental problem around the world. The air pollution was reported to have been accelerated by dust and particulate matter, particularly fine particles such as particulate matter 2.5, particulate matter 10, which are released through natural and anthropogenic processes. Natural process which release particles matter into air include dust storms, soil erosion, volcanic eruptions, rock weathering, while anthropogenic activities are more industrial and transportation related. Pollutants cause deterioration of infrastructure, corrosion, formation of acid rain, eutrophication. Among others, heavy metals such as group 1 metals, copper, cadmium, lead, group 2 metals, chromium, manganese, nickel, vanadium and zinc, and group 3 metals originate from industrial areas, traffic, natural resources respectively. Heavy metals, most harmful of the elemental pollutants, if in greater amount, are of particular concern because of their toxicities to humans. These elements, in general, the transition metals and some of the representative elements such as lead, tin, and are placed in the lower right hand corner of periodic table. Heavy metals also include essential elements like iron as well as toxic metals like cadmium and mercury. The removal of heavy metals, that is heavy metal remediation, is an important aspect. The methods used for the removal of heavy metals include adsorption, stabilization, coagulation, filtration, ion exchange method, precipitation, and biosorption method. Precipitation. A variety of alkaline chemical reagents have been used over the years for neutralization of acid mine drainage in order to increase the pH and consequently precipitate and recover the metal. The most common alkaline reagents used for sequential recovery of mineral resources from acid mine drainage are limestone, calcium carbonate, caustic soda, sodium hydroxide, soda ash, sodium carbonate, quicklime, calcium oxide, slaked calcium hydroxide, and magnesium hydroxide. Some processes have recovered metals at various pH levels and synthesized commercially valuable materials such as pigments and magnetite. Some minerals are recovered and sold to metallurgical industries, hence offsetting the treatment costs. Adsorption. Adsorption is a wastewater purification technique for removing a wide range of compounds from industrial wastewater. Adsorption is most commonly used for removal or low concentration of non-degradable organic compounds from groundwater, drinking water preparation, processed water, or as tertiary cleansing after, for example, biological water purification. Adsorption takes place when molecules in a liquid bind themselves to the surface of a solid substance. Adsorbents have very high internal surface area that permits the adsorption. Active carbon is most commonly used adsorbent and is particularly suited to removal of apolar compounds. Other adsorbents that are used for specific applications include natural or synthetic zeolites, have very homogeneous pore distribution and polar binding sites. Natural clay minerals used for the adsorption of very polar organic and inorganic ions, silica gel and activated aluminium, very polar adsorbent with large affinity for water normally used to remove water from apolar medium. Silicic acid, active carbon can be made from wood, charcoal, coconut. Each type is characterized by specific surface, grain size and pore diameter. In powder form, active carbon is added to aerobic and anaerobic wastewater purification system or is added to physicochemical wastewater purification process. In this case, added active carbon is removed and treated together with produced sludge. Active carbon in grains or pellets is normally used in open or closed filters. Closed filters are used in industrial applications. Open filters are used in drinking water application where the water flows through the active carbon beds under the force of gravity. Ion exchange method. Ion exchange basically exchange of ions between two or more electrolyte solutions. Most of the purification process works on the mechanism of ion exchange method. Ion exchange can take place either cation exchange process or anion exchange process. Cation exchange process, for example, carboxyl group can be a good example of cation exchanges, while amino-imidazole groups represent the anion exchanges. It can also refer to exchange of ions on a solid substrate to a soil solution. High cation exchange capacity clay and resins are commonly used for the uptake of metals from aqueous solution. However, this method requires high labor and is limited to a certain concentration of metals in solution. The system also operates under specific temperature and pH. Natural and synthetic clays, zeolites, and synthetic resins have been used for the removal and attenuation of metal from wastewater. In the recent year, ion exchange process has been increasingly used for the removal of heavy metals or the recovery of precious metals. It is versatile separation with the potential for broad application in the water and wastewater treatment. Ion exchanger materials have been studied for removing heavy metals for metal bearing waste. For the current treatment, a facility has been designed for the removal of heavy metal from the acid mine drainage waste by the ion exchange technology method. Biosorption, a simple metabolically passive physicochemical process involved in binding of metal ions, which is known as biosorbate, to the surface of biosorbent, which is of biological origin. Biological removal include the use of microorganisms or plant-derived material, agriculture or industrial waste, biopolymers. It is reversible rapid process involved in binding of ions onto the functional groups present on the surface of biosorbent material in the aqueous solution by various types of interactions: physical interaction, chemical interaction, van der Waals interaction, hydrogen bonding, rather than the oxidation through aerobic or anaerobic metabolism. Biosorption can remove contaminants even in dilute concentration and has special relevance with respect to heavy metal removal owing to the toxicity at parts per billion level. Microorganisms and other industrial and agricultural byproducts can be used as biosorbent for the process of biosorption. The advantage of this process include simple operation, no additional nutrient requirement, low quantity of sludge generation, low operational cost, high efficiency, and no increase in chemical oxygen demand of water, which are otherwise the major limitation of the most of the conventional techniques. Regeneration of biosorbent is easy, hence making it most favorable process. Biosorbent is determined by equilibrium. It is largely influenced by pH effect, the concentration of biomass, temperature, the interaction between different metallic ions. At low pH, ions are closely associated with the active ligand of the biosorbent, and therefore there exists a competition between the protons and metal ions for binding sites. At higher pH, there exists lower number of proton ions and the number of active sites of the functional group is free and exposed, which result in increased biosorption by attracting positive charge metal ions. At higher pH, the metal might begin to precipitate and form hydroxide and as a consequence hinder the biosorption process. For example, the study on the removal of copper, zinc and nickel ions using a composite sorbent, as the pH increased from low to high, the sorbent favored the removal of copper ions over the zinc and nickel ions. Effect of temperature. The temperature have a positive or negative effect on a biosorption at certain intervals. An increase or decrease in temperature cause a change in bioabsorption capacity of the biosorbent. High temperature enhance the bioabsorption removal of biosorbates, but it is associated with the limitation of structural damage to the biosorbent. Hence, optimum temperature for the efficient bioabsorption has to be chosen for the maximum binding of metal ions. Effect of metal ion concentration. The bioabsorption capacity, that is quantity of biosorbed metal ions per unit weight of the biosorbent, is known as bioabsorption capacity. The bioabsorption capacity of the biosorbent increases initially with the increase in metal ion concentration and then reach its saturation value. However, the bioabsorption efficiency of the biosorbent decreases with the increase in metal ion concentration. Effective biosorbent dose. Biosorbents provide the binding sites for metal bioabsorption and hence its dosage strongly affects the bioabsorption process. The increase of biosorbent dose at a given initial metal concentration increases the bioabsorption of metal ions due to greater surface area, which in turn increase the number of available binding sites. At low concentration of biosorbent, the amount of metal biosorbed per unit weight of the biosorbent is high. There are some research findings as efficacy of sugarcane bagasse for the removal of chromium from wastewater collected from the local tanning plant Kasur, Pakistan was evaluated at a biosorbent dose 0.1 gram pH 2.0. Bioabsorption efficiency, which is equivalent to 73% of total chromium present in the wastewater. In another research, the potential of seaweed used as a biosorbate was used to decontaminate heavy metal ions from urban real storm water runoff. The biosorbent was able to remove metal ions, but the efficiency was slightly lesser than single synthetic solute system under similar conditions. The effluent discharge from the battery industries located in the northern region of Kolkata was treated by aspergillus versicolor biomass to remove iron ions. The removal efficiency with real effluent can be affected due to presence of other components like other metals, organic matter, anions and so on, which can compete for binding sites. Membrane technologies. The use of membrane technologies for the recovery of acid mine drainage is very effective for water that has high concentration of pollutant. It uses the concentration gradient phenomena or the opposite, which is reverse osmosis. There are different types of membranes that are used for mine water treatment, including ultrafiltration, nanofiltration, reverse osmosis, microfiltration and particle filtration. Reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis is one of several pressure-driven membrane processes for water purification. Reverse osmosis is very useful and well-developed technique for the purification and desalination of water. This process is not simply seep separation or ultrafiltration, depends on the absorption of water on the surface of porous cellulose, acetate or polyamide membrane. Pure water from the absorbed layer is forced through the pores in the membranes under pressure. Ultrafiltration. Ultrafiltration is a permeable membrane separation process with pore size in the range of 0.1 to 0.001 micron, which permeates water and low molecular weight solutes. while retaining the macromolecules, particles, and colloids that are larger in size. For example, removal of copper, zinc, nickel, and manganese from aqueous solution by using ultrafiltration assisted with copolymer of malic acid and acrylic acid, attaining removal efficiency of 98.8% by forming macromolecular structure with the polymers which are rejected by membrane. Microfiltration process, same principle as the ultrafiltration. The major difference between two processes is that solutes which are removed by microfiltration are larger in size than those rejected by ultrafiltration. Nanofiltration. Nanofiltration is a pressurized membrane filtration process that doesn't remove singly charged salt ions that are removed by osmosis, but it may be effective in removing hardness. Nanofiltration operates at low pressure than reverse osmosis, thus requiring less energy and less expense. Recently, it has gained popularity in drinking water treatment process. The treated membranes are then used for filtration to remove as much as 94% of suspended solids from water. For example, nanofiltration, the separation of large molecules possible by small pores when they are within the molecular weight range from 300 to 500 Dalton with pore diameter 0.5 to 2 nanometer. N270 was used for the removal of cadmium, manganese and lead with an efficiency of approximately 99, 89 and 74%. Electrodialysis. Electrodialysis consists of applying a direct current across a body of water separated into layers by membrane permeable to cations and anions. Cations migrate towards the cathode, anions migrate towards the anode. Cation and anion both enter one layer of water and both leave the adjacent layer of water. Thus, layers of water enriched in salt alternate with those from which salts have been removed. Liquid hybrid membrane separation process used for the separation of ionized species in the solution that passes through an ion exchange resin when electrical potential is applied or due to concentration gradient. The removal of heavy metal ions in groundwater in Korea was achieved by electrodialysis system for the removal of arsenic, lead and nitrate, nitrogen and efficiency of approximately 73.9 to 95.1% respectively. Catalysis. Photocatalysis is rapid and efficient destruction of environmental pollutants by using semiconductors which are non-toxic. This method is achieved by a 5-step process. Transfer first step. Second is adsorption to the surface of the semiconductor. And third is photocatalytic reactions at the surface takes place. And then finally decomposition and removal of pollutants at the interface region. The heavy metals present in pharmaceutical waste were photocatalytically degraded and removed by using selenium doped zinc oxide nanocomposite semiconductor. Bioaccumulation. Bioaccumulation is a metabolism mediated active process in which the metal ion accumulate the biosorbent intracellularly in the living cell. This process occurs in two steps. In the first step, adsorption of metal ion onto cells, which is quick and identical to bioabsorption. Second step is slower, which includes the transport of metal species inside the cell. Unlike bioabsorption, it is an irreversible complex process which depends on the metabolism of the cell. Bioaccumulation is an active process which requires living biosorbent, for example, Aspergillus niger, Aspergillus flavus, and is mediated by metabolism of the microorganism used. The process operates by cultivating the microbe in the presence of a metal ion which has to be removed. Part of the biosorbate accumulates inside the cell, which enables the biomass to increase and bind greater amounts of metal ions. The organisms which are capable of resisting high loads of metal ions are best suited for accumulating metal species. They don't possess any mechanism for hindering the accumulation of metal ions in large quantities. They may possess special mechanism for synthesizing special intracellular binding regions. Acid-mine drainage. When metals in acid-mine drainage are hydrolyzed, they lower the pH of water, making it unsuitable for aquatic organisms to thrive. Acid-mine drainage is highly acidic, pH range 2 to 4, and this promotes the dissolution of toxic metals. These toxic species exert hazardous effects on terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. Many streams contaminated with acid-mine drainage are largely devoid of life for long way downstream. To some aquatic organisms, if the pH range falls below the tolerance range, probability of death is very high due to respiratory and osmoregulation failure. Acidic conditions are dominating by protons, which is adsorbed and pump out sodium from the body, which is important in regulating body fluids. Chemical species. Exposure of aquatic and terrestrial organisms to potentially toxic metals and metallites can have toxic impact to living organisms. Toxic chemical species present in acid-mine drainage are hazardous to aquatic and terrestrial organisms. They are associated with numerous diseases including cancer, and some of these chemical species may accumulate and biomagnified in living organisms, hence threatening the life of higher trophic organisms such as birds. The exposure of living organisms to toxic chemical species in acid-mine drainage also lead to nausea, diarrhea, liver and kidney damage, and other respiratory problems. Epidemiological studies have shown a significant increase in the risk of lung, bladder, skin, liver, and other cancers on exposure to these chemical species, as toxicity of liver causes blood disorders, kidney damage, miscarriages, and reproductive disorders, and is linked to various types of cancer. Mercury toxicity causes neurological disorders, including irritability, paralysis, blindness, chromosome breakage, and other defects. This is the effect of some acid-mine drainage metal on the health of the living organism. As aluminium level if exceeds then 0.5 milligram per liter, it causes neurological disorders such as Alzheimer's disease. Iron level if exceeds 1 milligram per liter, several aesthetic effects, chronic health effects in young children if overdose of iron 10 to 20 milligram per liter. Similarly, manganese cause unacceptable staining, domestic use, unlikely due to discoloration. Copper cause gastrointestinal problem, nausea and vomiting. Magnesium cause diarrhea, increased scaling problem, and zinc cause severe acute toxicity and electrolyte imbalance that leads to renal failure.